My spoiled sister is demanding I give up my company and make her the boss because my parents told her she could. I, 25 years old, have a spoiled sister who is 23. My parents have always babied her from a young age. If I had the newest gadget, my sister would throw a fit, and I would have to give it to her. When I worked multiple jobs to buy myself a used car, my sister threw a fit, and my parents bought her a brand new car that she ended up crashing. Growing up with her was unfair, and I blame my parents for raising her like a spoiled brat. By the time I turned 18, I had enough of my family and moved out. My sister mocked me, telling me my dad said they could merge my room into hers to make it bigger. I rolled my eyes and told them I was done with this family. I got a job as a mechanic from a friend of mine, leveraging the experience I had from fixing the car I bought back in high school. For the next 4 years, I had no contact with my family and worked hard at the shop. By the time I was 22, I decided to open my own mechanic shop, which quickly became profitable through connections and social media marketing. I finally had something to myself and was proud of my hard work. 3 years later, I opened another shop in a busy location and started selling used cars, which also became profitable. I was doing well for myself and considered myself very successful for my age. Recently, I got a call from my other location that someone was looking for me. To my surprise, it was my parents and sister. I hadn't heard from them in years, and all three showed up at my shop unexpectedly. I drove 15 minutes to my other shop and saw them waiting inside the lobby. They hugged me and told me they hadn't seen me in a while. My sister also hugged me and said she missed me. For a moment, I thought they had changed and wanted to make amends, but I was wrong. In my office, my parents told me that my sister dropped out of college and has been unemployed since. They explained that my sister saw my mechanic's Instagram page and told them about it. I asked what they wanted, and they told me I should give my business to my sister. I was speechless and began laughing, thinking it was a joke. My dad looked at me with a blank stare and said I could still work as a mechanic, but my sister would be the boss. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I asked them if they were thinking correctly and in what universe it would be fine to give my little sister the business I worked hard for. As I continued yelling at them, my spoiled sister started crying and looking at my dad with her sad puppy eyes. She complained about not having a job and how my dad promised to make her a boss. I angrily told my dad he was raising her poorly and that if my sister wanted to become her own boss, she should start her own business. My dad tried to lecture me, saying I should help out my family. I told them all to leave my shop and never come back. My sister began crying and throwing a tantrum. Mind you, this is a 23-year-old grown woman crying because she wasn't handed a company she didn't work for. I told them to leave, and I didn't want to see them ever again. The following week, I arrived to drop off lunch for my workers and found my sister in my office, sitting in my chair. She asked what I was doing there. I angrily told her to get out of my shop immediately or I would call the cops. She argued that my dad told her I agreed to their demands to make her the new boss. I took a deep breath and told her firmly to leave, or I would call the cops. She didn't budge, so I called the cops and explained the situation. Despite their arrival, my sister still claimed she had every right to be there. They had no choice but to arrest her for trespassing on my property. After the arrest, I took legal action to ensure she wouldn't bother me again. I obtained a restraining order and set legal boundaries to protect myself and my business. My parents called me afterwards, yelling at me. I told them all to go to hell and to enjoy the retirement home once they're old because my sister won't be there for them.